This is not financial nor professional advice. This video is for entertainment only. Hey everybody. When the history of this massive crash of 2022 is written, it will be punctuated strongly by the fall of Tesla. And what a fall it has been. Tesla was once worth $1.3 trillion. It's now getting close to just $300 billion. Wow. Losing $1 trillion? Holy buckets. And a large part of that was done in the last couple months of 2022. So it's really been a disaster. Elon Musk, he's a genius. He should stick with technology. Who would have predicted that his buying Twitter would be his undoing? He's redeemed about $40 billion worth. He's sold $40 billion worth of Tesla stock. And Musk owns about 15% of Tesla. So it's just a big deal when he's selling, stock in Tesla. It makes the followers say, hey, what's our leader doing here, And politics has entered into this too. He started to become a more right-wing. And it's an observation by many that most of the people that buy electric cars, they're not into oil and things like that, or coal, and they care about the environment and a lot. Not that the other side can't care about the environment. I'm sure they do, but it's more upper mind with the liberals, and that's who tends to buy the cars. And so him becoming more right-wing, I've seen people say they were getting disenchanted with Tesla because of Musk. That hasn't happened with me. I think a person is free to express their opinions, and I accept many different kinds of opinions. And I tend to be a little bit liberal, and I've been told I'm a Democrat and stuff, but I can be very moderate. For instance, I did vote for Reagan the second time, not the first time, but the second time, because I could see he was what was needed for the country at the time. And there's certain times when certain leadership styles fit what the country's needed, and I'm very pragmatic in that way. I tend to be liberal, but I'm open to listening to the other side. I don't assume I know everything, and I don't like to preach to the other side. They have their values and they have their things that they stand for, which have equal validity, and I think we need more moderates in this country. We just need people to consider both sides. And you may lean one way or the other, but at least listen to what the other side has to say and engage in a discussion with them, and not a full-fledged rebellious argument that can just really go off the Richter scale fast. Such is the divide in our country. But Musk, he's built a company that's amazing. I mean, it's doing amazing things. I mean, it's ironic that it's crashing at the very time when they come out with an electric semi. Who has done that? It has a 500-mile range, the semi they're coming out with, and they have models of it, and they're selling it to Pepsi right now, and it'll take a while to get it scaled up and stuff, but that's amazing. A 500-mile range on a heavy-duty semi that is faster and safer and just all around more comfortable for the driver and cleaner for the environment, of course. These are true accomplishments, and that's just one of many things that Tesla is working on. Tesla has many projects that are very future oriented, such as they're working on robots, but it doesn't add to the bottom line right now, and that's what people are focused on in their financial affairs, of course. So Elon, he's really, it's hard to say the richest man in the world has suffered, okay, but he's lost more money than any other person has ever lost, I believe. He's lost $200 billion of wealth. Holy moly. He's still worth 137 billion, so I guess he'll get by somehow. But that's a massive amount of money to lose. Wow. So as of December of 2022, it will always be remembered that Tesla suffered its worst year, its worst quarter, and its worst month in all of its history. Tesla faces the prospect of having lowered demand for its cars, and there's some signs of it. Tesla reduced their production they usually take a break during Christmas, and they added a day or two at the beginning and the end of the Christmas break. And they also added a day or two to the Chinese New Year break. And so the thought was they're reducing their production time partially because there's lower demand for its car, partially because recession is anticipated, and partially because the Chinese are in a recession, I believe, and they have been in recession because they had too many lockdowns because of the thing. Okay, and that's China is opening up. They have 250 million people infected with the thing, but it's less virulent, and they're taking more of an approach that we can deal with this. And they have made contracts with Pfizer to get products to fight the thing. So they seem to be more on the right track, but still, there's competition with Tesla. BYD, which is a Chinese electric car company, is outselling Tesla in China. Of course, they don't make the luxury electric car. They focus more on the middle and economy classes that need a functional transportation. But it's still a quality car. It's a company I've done videos on in the past, and I've been impressed with them. It's just I hesitate to do Chinese companies as far as investing in their stocks, just because there's less transparency with them. As usual, in the final analysis, the numbers tell the tale. Tesla is crashing because they missed delivery numbers. They missed on both revenue and on earnings, and they delivered 21,000 fewer cars in the fourth quarter than Wall Street was expecting. And their earnings growth rate, which has been above 50%, we've come to expect 50%. We've expected perfection from this company, and they've been more or less perfect, and now it's no longer perfection. It's not the perfected 50%. Oh my God, it's 40%. So it's Wall Street always goes on the future, and if you tell them that earnings are starting to decline, it's momentum. We expect it to continue to go down, especially when we anticipate a worldwide recession, at least to some extent. Both Tesla's stock price and Apple's stock price have fallen off a cliff. Tesla more so than Apple, but Apple is next. It's long been predicted that Tesla and Apple would be the last stocks to go, and it certainly seems to be the case. It's Tesla's turn now, but it's going to be Apple's in the not so distant future. But I will continue to buy Tesla and products. I love the car. I want to buy Apple's new phone, and I'll tell you why. And the reason I'm strengthened in my belief in these products is because of car crashes. And they're both car crashes, cars going over a cliff, okay? Near San Francisco at a place called Devil's Slide. A car went over a cliff and went 250 feet off this cliff. There was a man, a woman, a 9-year-old boy, and a 4-year-old girl in the car. The children were totally unharmed. They were in car seats. That's probably what protected them a lot. And the man and the woman had non-life-threatening injuries. So they were all able to walk away from the accident. They didn't walk away from it. Actually, they had to helicopter them out. It's just unbelievable that they not only survived, they didn't have any life-threatening injuries, and the kids were totally unharmed. Wow. They didn't say what model of Tesla it was. I wish they would have. All they said was it was a white 4-door sedan. Okay, so that was amazing. The second story involves Apple, and it's just unbelievable. It's a car crash, okay? A car crashed, and it was a different kind of crash, I think. They kind of rolled down this canyon, and they went to the bottom of this canyon, and it was 300 feet down. I think it was kind of more of a gradual thing, though. And the car rolled, and it landed upside down, and all the glass was crushed, of course. And they weren't seriously hurt. They of course had minor injuries, but they weren't any life-threatening injuries again. And so the first thing they thought of was, God, we got to find our phone, to call for help, because they're at the bottom of this canyon, and it's likely they would have sat there for hours if ever anyone would discover them in time. So they're looking for their phone. When they find the phone, they find that Apple's phone had already contacted the county SOS team. Apple just installed this feature on the iPhone Pro 14 that if you're in a crash, the phone can detect that you've been in a crash, and it sends out an emergency message, an emergency SOS to a local rescue team. And within a half an hour, a helicopter was on its way to get them from the bottom of this canyon. They were a young couple. They're in their one was 23, one was 24. But it made me want to buy an Apple 14 phone because I'm very safety conscious like that. And it's just amazing. Both these happen in California. Of course, I suppose California has more Teslas than any other state. So there's a reason why they're both California stories. But I think it's amazing that these two companies, they're the last to go because they're the most amazing companies, I think. They're the most technology, they're the best of the best. And it's so hard to see them crashing the way they are. But this is going to come to an end eventually, but I don't think it's going to come to an end now. And that's the sad part of it. We have to watch them decompose before our eyes. They will recover. They're both solid companies with a great future. But if I would have said to you a year ago, let's say, certainly a year ago, that Tesla, and this is supposing that we knew about the split and what the price would be and so forth, but that Tesla would go down below $100. That sounds unthinkable, and now it seems very likely, and it seems possible for Apple to do the same thing. Thanks for listening and watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done that. Smash that like button. We always need it smashed. You can't just tap it. You got to smash that like button. Okay. Thanks for listening. I hope to see you in the next one. Good luck to us all.